You may have heard many stories of people getting rich through cryptocurrency. The most common is speculating. This is when people buy a coin and hope it goes up over time. But this is not the only way people make money in crypto. If you haven't watched our video on decentralized finance, it would be a great place to start to learn more about this. As a reminder, decentralized finance, or DeFi, is a movement in the cryptocurrency space aiming to facilitate traditional financial services, like lending and borrowing, through cryptocurrency in order to make them cheaper, faster, globally available, and more inclusive. Some of these protocols are truly game changers, bringing financial services to people who have never had access before. But unfortunately, the cryptocurrency space is also fraught with scams, rug pulls, Ponzi schemes, pump-and-dump groups, phishing, hacking, and frauds. Some are easy to see, while others are hidden behind technology. Today, we're going to explore the economics of crypto Ponzi schemes and other crypto scams. All cryptocurrency networks are valued as a function of their usage. Decentralized networks only work if people are incentivized to participate in them. Ethereum, for example, is valuable because there are so many participants in the market, building apps, trading coins and NFTs, and providing liquidity and security to the network. Over $6 trillion worth of transactions were settled on the Ethereum network over the last year. If Vitalik and other founders were the only Ethereum holders, the network would not be particularly valuable. Now that we understand that, let's dive into the various crypto scams that exist. 1. Rug pulls. These are one of the most common scams in crypto. Here's how it typically goes. The project team will typically hold a fairly significant percentage of the total supply of coins. They will be disguised as a real project with a nice website, white paper, and roadmap. They might even have reputable investors or a beta version of their app, although usually they will not. Much like legitimate projects, they will grow a community and build hype through marketing to reel in speculators. Eventually, the team will collectively decide to dump their tokens onto the market, locking up their profits and abandoning the project. Sometimes, they may even prevent the speculators from withdrawing their coins in order to artificially prevent the price from falling. This will leave all the investors holding a bag full of coins from a dead project. Recently, this happened with a coin called Squid which capitalized on the hype around the Netflix TV series to take the coin's price up to over $2,000. Before the team pulled the rug, dumping the coin price all the way down to less than a cent. Speculators lost all their money. Common warning signs for a rug pull are an anonymous team, a lack of reputable investors, or a live project, and an inactive developer community. This is why you should always thoroughly research a project before investing any money into it. You should also check that the project has a strong community, active development, a good use case, and product. You should also look into the profiles of the team and make sure they have never been involved in a dodgy project before. 2. Phishing attacks. Similar to phishing attacks for website passwords, this kind of scam relies on an attacker tricking the user into giving up their coins. Here's a typical example. You might have stumbled upon a YouTube video with a famous person like Mark Cuban or Elon Musk talking about cryptocurrency alongside a written message saying that they are giving away 1 Bitcoins to anyone who sends them 0.1 Bitcoin. This is always a scam. Remember, no one reputable will ever ask you to send them your coins with the promise of giving you more back. 3. Clone projects. These are fake projects designed to look exactly like a real project. Here's an example. A launchpad project like Ethpad or TrustSwap or Polkastarter might ask you to stake your ETH tokens in order to get access to a new coin they're launching soon. This could be a legitimate scenario. Usually, you would click a button on their platform, sign the transaction in your MetaMask wallet, and in return, they would send you the tokens as per the project's release schedule. In the clone project scam, when you go to their website and sign their MetaMask transaction, your coins will go to a wallet from which they can never be recovered instead of actually being staked on the legitimate project's network. The best way to avoid these is to make absolutely sure that the project website you are on is the correct one. Never click on links from a source you don't trust, and double-check this before accepting any transactions in your MetaMask wallet. CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap usually have the project's legitimate website. 4. Hacks. Projects and wallets can both get hacked, especially if they're not secured well enough. Attackers can find bugs or vulnerabilities in the smart contracts or get access to users' private keys. To mitigate the risk of investing in a project that could get hacked, it's a good idea to check if the project has been audited by a reputable smart contract auditor. To mitigate the risk of your wallet or exchange being hacked, you can keep your cryptocurrency in a hardware wallet like a Ledger or Trezor. You can find a link to these in the description below. In addition to this, you should make sure to store your private keys and recovery phrases in a secure location. And always set up two-factor authentication on your hot wallets. 5. Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes are common outside the crypto world too. Here's a simple example of a Ponzi scheme. The scammer takes a $100 investment from person A and person B. The scammer will then take $20 of person B's money to pay a dividend to person A. Person A now trusts the scammer more and decides to invest another $100, which the scammer will then use to pay person B a dividend to build more trust with them. The cycle will continue like this until eventually both A and B want their money back, in which case the scammer will make a run for it. In crypto, this plays out in a different manner, but the general principle is the same. These are the most hidden of all crypto scams because they look like, and in fact often are, real projects, just with poorly thought out tokenomics. Nearly all crypto projects have some kind of incentive structure that rewards participants for holding onto their coins. Let's take Ethereum for example. By staking Ethereum, you secure the network, and in return are rewarded with around 5 to 15% interest per year. If you don't know what staking is, we can make a video on that too. Leave a comment below if you're interested. The incentive structures for most cryptocurrencies usually involve a participant staking their coins to secure the network, or providing trading liquidity for the token, so people are able to buy the coins more easily on a decentralized exchange. Both these models require one to lock up their coins as collateral, which reduces the supply, thereby creating favorable conditions for the price to increase with an increase in demand. The only difference between this perfectly legitimate tokenomics and the illegitimate Ponzinomics that is plaguing the crypto space is that Ponzi projects will typically have no actual utility besides these staking/liquidity rewards, although they may appear to. A common warning sign of this is extraordinarily high APY, 60,000% for example. To put this number into perspective, if you could earn 60,000% APY on a $1,000 investment, it would make you the richest person on the planet in 3 years. Needless to say, the APY rewards on these projects usually come down to earth as more participants join. But as the juicy rewards go away, investors realize they have no reason to hold the coins anymore, which causes the coin price to dump and eventually the project collapses. Avoiding this is tricky, but the best way is to make sure that the project always has some actual use cases. A good rule of thumb is that if you're only in the project for the attractive staking rewards, it's probably not a good idea. Bitconnect is an example of such a Ponzi scheme that collapsed spectacularly a few years ago. But we see many crypto projects, even today, that reek of Ponzinomics. Be very careful with these. Protecting yourself in the cryptocurrency space is a tricky business. Many smart people have fallen prey to scams like the ones above. This is also a big barrier to entry for new users. The best way to avoid scams like this is to educate yourself about them and do thorough research before investing in any projects. If you liked this content, please do give the video a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and in return, we promise to keep bringing you quality content on a regular basis, helping you stay safe and learn more about the cryptocurrency space. Cheers.